Please subscribe.
The base 2.0-liter Turbo 4 has a lot of draw, and we believe it's useful for about each situation. Burn through cash on more pleasant inside alternatives, on the off chance that you should. The 2020 Lincoln Corsair is the bomb to progressively muddled extravagance hybrids. Who chose an extravagance vehicle should have been muddled in any case. With the 2020 Corsair, Lincoln has a progressively refined little hybrid to rival any semblance of Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Acura in extravagance highlights, driving refinement and even cost. We give the Corsair a 6.8 on our general scale before security is figured in. The 2020 Corsair is identified with a Ford Escape, however wears custom-made, thin-fitting proper wear on its outside. It's everything the vibes of the greater aviator, measured down for a night out in the city. Inside, the Corsair works better inside Lincoln's lineup of hybrids and SUVs, complete with an even push-button shifter that is correspondingly exquisite. In the engine, a 2.0-liter or 2.3-liter Turbo 4 are accessible, the last just accessible just with all-wheel drive. A 8-speed program drives the front where every one of the four haggles flawlessly out of spotlight. We'd approve of the 250-pull, 2.0-liter Turbo 4 consistently, however concede that the 295-horsepower 2.3-liter Turbo 4 has all the more passing force. Despite what's in the engine, the Corsair's four-wheel autonomous suspension pampers travelers and a discretionary versatile suspension flips among delicate and gentler. Contrasted with the Escape, the Corsair weighs around 200 pounds more, which boils down to progressively solid stifling material, top-notch materials, and greater wheels. The Corsair conveys a calm and quieting ride for up to 5 grown-ups with an excess of 23 cubic feet of load space behind the subsequent line. Lincoln nails the little subtleties like rich tones recorded by the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, which go far to making the Corsair feel like an extravagance hybrid. It's lavishly delegated inside in pretty much any trim level, yet spendy adaptations get simply rich. Each Corsair gets 18-inch wheels, keyless start, a power liftgate, dynamic well-being highlights, manufactured cowhide upholstery, warmed front seats that are control movable, and a 8.0-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto similarity with 2 USB ports. Base renditions cost $36,940, including gold. As far as possible up in the extravagance hybrid stratosphere, the Corsair can cost more than $60,000 with the uprated Turbo 4, all-wheel drive, 24-way customizable seats, massagers, and 20-inch wheels. Indeed, even in top trims, the 2020 Corsair isn't excessively mind-boggling, yet how we feel about the $60,000 Lincoln Little Hybrid? That is confounded. Lincoln's style has progressed significantly from only a couple of years prior. With the 2020 Corsair, Lincoln wraps an exquisite shape over a little body and finishes its hybrid lineup that presently incorporates appealing vehicles on the two parts of the bargains range. The Corsair's outside lines decrease at the front and back in manners the MKC never oversaw. Inside, the Corsair is likewise exquisite, washed and encompassing LED lights and level shapes that rapid scour through the present unpatterned looks. We give the Corsair 2 better than expected for the outside and 1 more for within. It's a 8. The outside of the Corsair is more etched than the related Ford Escape. Lincoln's strong lines keep running from the front bumpers right to the back rear end in a solid window line that serves as a hood line. The Lincoln grille is united onto the Corsair with great impact here. A reserve appearance bundle can sub out the honeycomb design with the stipple grille that we're not so much sold on. The front is helped by a wide and tall body shading guard that appealingly encompasses the Corsair's daytime running lights and front-oriented sensors. In back, the Corsair bets everything on all flat. A wide segment of LED lights length the width of the back end and the little chrome strip skims in the center, beneath the window. Inside, Lincoln spared a portion of its best searches for its littlest hybrid. The Corsair's push-button shifter, which it imparts to all other Lincoln vehicles, is tucked underneath the enormous 8.0-inch touchscreen. In spite of the fact that the Corsair do not have any tech, the littlest Lincoln presents it in a pared-down way that is satisfying and downplayed. For the present, a couple of Turbo 4S power the 2020 Lincoln Corsair, albeit a module crossbreed powertrain is on the way. We like both Turbo 4S, in spite of the fact that we'd be content with the base 2.0-liter Turbo 4 in about each condition. Beginning from a normal score of 5, we give the Corsair focuses better than expected for its supple ride, particularly when furnished with discretionary versatile dampers. It's a 6 for execution. Despite the fact that the Corsair is identified with a Ford Escape, the two just offer a 2.0-liter Turbo 4 for the time being. It's conceivable that the module mixture Corsair gets the equivalent powertrain as the module half-breed Escape, in spite of the fact that Lincoln hasn't yet point-by-point that adaptation, the 2.0-liter Turbo 4 that is standard on all models aside from the expensive Corsair Reserve 2 makes 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. That is moved through a 8-speed program to drive the front wheels, or each of the 4 wheels when alternatively prepared. The Corsair weighs around 200 pounds more than the Escape, however the 2.0-liter Turbo 4 still feels lively. Its 0 to 60 mph time isn't formally recorded by Lincoln, and we don't know straight-line increasing speed is the purpose of the Corsair, yet our back ends generally measure around 7 seconds to 60 mph from a halt. Like most Turbo 4 motors, the Corsair's force is most grounded at lower speeds around town. For example, from around 0 to 40 mph, all-wheel drive adds 140 pounds to the general mass and all climate certainty. The discretionary 2.3-liter Turbo 4 twists out 295 horsepower and 310 pounds-feet and is combined to a similar 8-speed programmed as the littler motor. The greater motor's advantage isn't quickly perceptible, it is most obvious at interstate passing rates, state 40 mph or quicker. It has more drop slopes and pushes forward more properly, however we state that a larger number of drivers will be more than content with the base motor. Notwithstanding what's in the engine, the Corsair utilizes a 8-speed program that mixes out of spotlight in ordinary driving. Tip on to energize, which is Lincoln represents sport, the transmission avoids the last two apparatuses and holds each machine gear piece longer for better increasing speed. It's a blended gift, the transmission keeps the two motors on the bubble longer, however both Turbo 4S can be buzzy past 4,000 revolutions per minute. The controlling and ride are both superior to anything we expected in the Corsair. Notwithstanding riding on the tall 20-inch tires, the Corsair covered the street and secluded riders from dramatization outside gratitude to the discretionary versatile dampers and a 4-wheel free suspension. Just a little trace of automaton separated into the Login Corsair guided unquestionably around the slopes of Northern California with a light touch in the driver's seat, befitting the hybrid's extravagance point. The 2020 Lincoln Corsair folds an extravagance inside and outside over a minimized hybrid body and lifts it into extravagance vehicle domain with attractive materials. Beginning from a normal score of 5, the Corsair wins focuses better than expected for its agreeable front seats, an open payload territory, and quality materials all through the peaceful lodge. It's a 8 for solace. Lincoln joins an attractive hybrid. As note, it's to a greater extent a tall hatchback, we state, body on a wheelbase that estimates 106.7 creeps from wheel to haggle crawls from head to toe. 5 grown-ups will fit easily in the hybrid, on account of sharp bundling and a sliding second column. The first column seats are the most agreeable and are movable up to 24 different ways in top trims with numerous alterations for thigh backing and lumbar pads. A discretionary in-situate knee framework dissolves away the pressure from traffic, and the seats are warmed as standard hardware cooled with enough choices ticked. The back seats slide fore and toward the back by a few crawls to extend extra space up to 38.6 inches when pushed right back. 9 side-by-side is conceivable given the back travelers are ordinary form. The base pads can be daintily cushioned, however the seat backs can marginally lean back for whole deal comfort. Behind the subsequent column, the Corsair conveys 27.6 cubic feet of load. The Corsair isn't as tall-rotting as its ancestor and its payload floor is low and simple to stack. Each Corsair gets a power-open liftgate and a sans hands rear end is accessible that can open by kicking a foot underneath when hands are full. Inside, the Corsair is shod with delicate touch materials, wood, and cowhide befitting the hybrid sticker price of more than $40,000 in many designs. The inside reassure of the Corsair has repetitive hard catches for atmosphere controls, found just underneath the push-button shifter. It might seem like a great deal of catches, yet it's more natural than Lincolns have been before. One little note, the Detroit Symphony Orchestra recorded a few rings for Lincoln, including a safety belt ring, entryway ring, and customary warnings. It works well overall, and is a little detail that Lincoln focused on and it's satisfied. The 2020 Lincoln Corsair hasn't yet been appraised by the user. Our official security score will hang tight for one more day when those scores come in. All Corsairs get Lincoln's suite of dynamic well-being highlights that incorporate programmed crisis braking, dynamic path control, and vulnerable side screens. An additional suite of security highlights includes driver help frameworks that can keep the Corsair focused in its path for more, an encompass C-camera framework, and programmed stopping help. A head-up showcase on the Corsair is discretionary, yet in addition valuable. Its enormous, brilliant presentation,